My lawyer advised me not to talk about the case, so obviously I'll be talking about it constantly. Any news about Monty? Well, yeah, so really annoying right now. I filed for an extension with the court, and I'll probably have to write a motion to oppose his default because it's complete bullshit. So right now, I have to resolve that before anything else happens. And if the court irritatingly grants his default, which they can, I then have to move to vacate the default, which they should. Never miss an answer, file a general denial. No, but then you miss your pretrial dismissal. You miss your dismissal motions if you just file a general denial. Plus, Minnesota has this weird pocket service where you don't actually file right away. So you just serve an answer. The interesting thing is, I wouldn't have been able to serve him with an answer because he wasn't there. So that was nice. We'll get it taken care of. And then once that gets wrapped up and we get back into the main part of it, we'll I'll be doing whatever we end up doing for the trial. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to stream about it. I don't know if I'm going to be streaming on like on Rumble about it, or if I'll keep it to locals. I'm not quite sure. If I do locals, it wouldn't be locals exclusive, but it'd just be like extra locals content that would be available for everybody. But it'd be a way to kind of get people to locals to the platform and get used to it. So that could be fun. Short answer, Monty's lawyer is being kind of a fucker about it. He even admitted in his motion for default that I contacted him and he just refused to contact me back. So it's not really the best form to not contact the opposing party in litigation, especially if you're going to file a motion about it. So, I mean, there's nothing, it's not against a rule or anything. It's just like kind of shit. And to me, it reinforces my theory. And this is my theory. They know that this is a loser of a case. They've known that it was a loser of a case. They know that it's not legally sustainable. It would be, it goes completely against the First Amendment. Everything I've said is clearly either true or protected opinion. All right. The goal of Montagraph appears to be to file a frivolous lawsuit. And the goal of his attorneys was probably the point was to probably try and get a default judgment, because if this goes to trial, they probably don't think Monty can afford it. And so they'll try and win on this this sort of legal procedural technicality. But the problem for them is I'm not avoiding them. I'm not delaying, like I'm not trying to cause unnecessary delay. I asked for a 1-month extension, which is nothing. Like it's completely nothing. So we'll see. I've made my appearance to the court now to file my motion, and I'll probably be drafting my opposition to his motion, and we'll see. As soon as we get past this procedural issue, then I'll be talking about it quite a bit. Haven't you hired someone now? Why are you still writing up your own documents? Because the person I hired is not one, they haven't appeared in court yet. Two, or appeared before the court. Two, they don't do Minnesota procedural issues. So I'm taking care of the procedural issue first, which is the default. So if I have to hire a Minnesota procedure person for it, I will. I just prefer not to. I needed to file the, once they filed that default, like I had to file the motion for extension. It should never be a motion. You should not have to do a motion for an extension of time on something like this, because the other party should just generally allow it. As things get taken care of on this procedural part, we'll get into the meat of it later. My lawyer advised me not to talk about the case, so obviously I'll be talking about it constantly as things ramp up. We'll see if I can give my lawyer an aneurysm. Will my opposition contain profanity? Probably not. I am still licensed in this case. I have to treat it a little bit differently than I do other stuff because I am in this case and I am technically under the court's jurisdiction. I'm under the court's rules. So, yeah, my filings have to be done, especially anything that I write has to be done professionally, which is annoying. No calling them faggots and gay boys. No, I might call Monty that though. See, that's the problem with Montagraph's claims. His claims are that I called him let's see. I called him a fucking faggot. I said he probably likes sucking little boys' cocks. I said he's a retard. And oh, I did he include the melon thing? I said he probably needs to be shot in the head. So all of those things though are, I mean, is he going to prove that he doesn't like sucking little boys? How does he prove that? That doesn't seem like an objective statement of fact. But yeah, it's like none of those are fact statements for the purposes of defamation. Like they can't do it. Would Monty technically be considered a public figure? There's some really good limited purpose public figure arguments because I want everybody to remember I didn't bring up Monty. Montagraph came to my chat, actually to my chat, and then Megan Fox's chat, or Megan Fox's chat, and then my chat to come after me. I forgot the guy existed. He popped in there talking a bunch of shit, and he said a bunch of possibly defamatory things about me. I don't know. I don't really care. It's not like I just brought Montagraph up. He came in, he very possibly made himself a limited purpose public figure on most of this stuff. Plus, you know, the little boys comment was in reference to one of his movies that he made, which was not published or not like which was taken down, I think, because it was so disturbing. Oh, yeah, he said I said he made a snuff film about a little boy because he did. It's snuff film number 3. I don't remember what it's called off the top of my head. But the reviews about it are atrocious. Nasty, nasty stuff. Didn't the FBI have to come in on that shit? I don't remember. I feel like I might have read something like that, or that he talked about it or whatever, that, you know, they cleared him of everything, but they looked in on it. Anyway, it's a retarded lawsuit from a retard, and dealing with it is just a complete pain. When I have to write this fucking motion response opposing his motion for default, that'll all be in there. When is the motion for dismissal? Well, I got to get the extension, but it should be before the end of the month. Minnesota has this interesting rule, though, where they've asked for attorney's fees. And once you ask the other party for attorney's fees, if you lose, they have the right to ask you for attorney's fees, and you have to agree to that. So, which they did. You just hope I live stream the Nick versus Monty trial. I really don't think there's going to be a Nick versus Monty trial. So, I think it'll be dealt with pre-trial, but we'll figure it out.